Hi Sonia, how are you?
Hi Jyotika, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm happy to connect with you today.
All right, then let's roll on and start. Hi everyone, this is Sonia Chawla. I'm the founder of Mommy Wise, and welcome to another episode of Mommy Wise Saturday Live, wherein every week we get a guest for you to touch upon topics related to motherhood, parenting, pregnancy, any aspect of women's life, and so on. Today's live I'm very excited about because it is on a topic happiness and self-love. And I'm very sure that this live will bring a shift and will truly transform the way you approach motherhood and life altogether. And I'm completely looking forward to it. So we thought about doing a live on how to raise happy kids. But I believe that when we say happy moms raise happy kids, it first has to start with understanding the fact that how can moms be happy first? Because till the time they understand the value of that, they cannot go ahead and imbibe the same thing into their kids, right? And to touch upon this topic today, we have Jyotika with us. And Jyotika is let me tell you more about her first before we get on to this topic. So Jyotika is into is a family and educational psychologist with a double masters from London School of Economics in social and organizational psychology. She's a mother of three, and as she says, she's married to the man of her dreams. She's a happiness addict, positivist, peace advocate, and a passionate student of life. And I truly have to understand each of that word because more than anybody else, I might need information on that one. So Jyotika is well known and is experienced in family and education guidance. And with her craft deeply embedded into child psychology and psychology otherwise, Jyotika comes with years of seasoned experience in counseling and offering compassionate therapy sessions to her clients as well. And with her initiative, Happiness is Love, she bring and with her team of psychologists, she intends to build a happy and a loving community and is on a mission to change and transform how people live their life. So I will welcome Jyotika into the session and understand this concept of what it is all about, what is happiness and self-love, and how do we apply that into our own life. So, hi Jyotika, welcome once again. And thank you
Thank you
so
so
much for
much,
taking
Sonia.
our time. Yeah, it is
My
completely our pleasure,
pleasure.
and thank you so much for taking us down time for this session.
I really wanted to connect with you, Sonia. And of course, I must share with the audience that I really like your style of working. You're very professional and yet very warm. So it's been lovely. There were a few tech glitches just before we went live, but Sonia had a smile on her face. She looked very calm and zen. And kudos to you. Keep that up. And internally, you may be a volcano. I don't know. We'll explore more. But the fact that you were at ease really made me feel happy because I was anxious. I'm not a tech person, but we sorted it out together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having enriching conversations with you, Sonia.
Thank you, Jyotika. So, truly, I'm not the calm and the composed person. I'm completely the opposite of it. So, as I said, probably this session is something that is going to help me as well a lot. And I'm looking forward to this one. So, let's start with the first question here. So we have heard psychologist, and this is a new term that I've come across, happyologist. So, what is this all about, and what is compassionate therapy?
Right. So, Sonia, basically, a happyologist is someone who is interested in studying the science, the art, the music, the dance of happiness, right? We all fundamentally want to be happy, but we're not taught how to be happy. So, I then decided that I am going to embark this journey on decoding what happiness really means. And let me, before I tell you what a happyologist means, you tell me, Sonia, what does happiness mean to you? And then I'll tell you more about what a happyologist does. What is happiness to Sonia?
My work. My work brings me happiness. Yeah.
Happy,
And,
yes,
and that has probably
because
changed after my daughter has come into place. But these are the two
right.
things that bring this to me.
How lovely. And because you're doing meaningful work, it gives you joy, it gives you a sense of self. And that's why you will realize that even though, like last night, I slept at 2 a.m., okay, I was exhausted this morning, but I was excited to do this live with you because our work really propels us. So a happyologist basically makes you believe that happiness is a choice, happiness is a decision, happiness is a skill. You can learn to be happy. And as mothers, I get it. We give so much of ourselves to everyone around us. Sometimes our cup is empty. And today we're going to talk about more on how we need to fuel ourselves and give ourselves the happiness that we truly deserve so that we can be our better selves. So a happyologist basically is someone who helps people find their own unique style of happiness.
Can this be learned, Jyotika? Or we are the way we are, and like we can learn few things. We can learn about cooking. We can learn about other things. But there are certain things which are the part of our upbringing, the way we are brought up. It is something that is deep within, and we are like that. But can we change that and be happy and change completely the way we approach things?
Right. So let me answer this question by two. One, yes, happiness can be learned. You are 25% your genes, 25% your environment in which you had no control of. The rest 50% is for you to own. And that depends on your choices. And happiness work is hard work. Don't get me wrong. People, often people, when they meet me and then interact with me, they're like, oh, you always seem happy. I'm like, there's a lot of hard work. It's daily effort. It's you need to take deliberate, conscious steps every single day. And if you read books on happiness, for instance, there is this gentleman called Professor Tal Ben, who teaches the most popular program at Harvard. So the most popular program at Harvard, mothers who are watching this, is not your math and your economics. Don't get me wrong, but it is the science of happiness. They actually teach you how to be happy, how to be positive, and how to be successful. And there's this beautiful book by this lady called Sonia, where she talks about the how of happiness. So she really decodes happiness in various steps. And of course, I'm not going to get into the details of the activities she says, but she says happiness is like a verb. It's a doing word. You have to do things for you to pump up your happiness quotient. So the 5 things that I do, and I'd love to share with you. Number 1, express gratitude to yourself. We women forget to pat ourselves on the back while we'll be cheerleading for everybody, our family, our children, our team members at work. We'll forget ourselves. And compassion is incomplete if you are not included in that. So first, it starts with you expressing gratitude to yourself. Second, it starts with you practicing optimism. Sonia, for people like us, we're in the business of learning and development, and we're also in career advisory. Times have been very tough and rough and challenging for all of us. But if we don't believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and people like, for instance, you and the work that we do, till the time we don't come together and believe in that common vision, the world's not going to change. So I'm not dismissing that, yes, times are hard for all of us, but you have to have the belief that together we can weather any storm. And the third thing we need to do is take care of our physical and our mental health. That is extremely important. As women, as mothers, we forget because we are so wired about taking care of others that we forget to take care of ourselves. Then we need to learn relationship skills. To pump up your happiness quotient, we are not taught relationship skills. We're not taught happiness skills. Math and science is all that we learn in school. So there are skills which will help you boost your happiness and emotional well-being. And one more thing I forgot, random acts of kindness. Make sure you do kind things for yourself. And again, it's not just having cupcakes or having a cup of chai. Of course, all that is important and taking a break. But again, building yourself up, building skills that will help you grow, learning to set healthy boundaries and learning to say no. I know we do a lot of personal counseling. I work a lot with individuals. And one problem everybody faces is that they find it difficult to say no. So this is a skill that we can all learn.
Yeah. So Jyotika, it's not that we don't try. See, these are messages which are all over the place. We try to apply it and then we drop the ball somewhere. And that happens so often, as in it is a vicious circle. We try it, we drop the
Correct.
ball, there is another an environment and any situation that comes in our life, we again go back into the same kind of a thought process, and it goes on and on. 6 months down the line, we again realize something, we read a book, we read secret, we realize, oh no, we were not supposed to do it this way, and let me try one more time, and again we lose it in between. So how do we
Right.
go ahead and stay on that plan and just completely imbibe it, that it is a part of us then, and then we don't
Yes,
drop the ball anywhere, and that is how we are, and we change
absolutely.
ourselves.
Yes. So again, consistency is key. If this is your goal, to be happy, because happiness is again transient, right? You can't be happy all the time. We have to experience the entire range of emotions. Only psychopaths don't feel stress and anxiety. They only feel stress and anxiety. So for us as normal human beings, we feel the entire rainbow of emotions. So it's very important to understand that if I want to be happy, I have to consistently work on my happiness goals. And even if I drop the ball, I have to pick myself up and start over. It's work and learn. We are forever lifelong learners, and happiness is something that comes and goes, but you have to keep working towards it and not let go. And it's really the journey. It's not about reaching the top of the mountain. It's really the journey. It's an experience. And so if you were to ask me what happiness means to me, happiness to me is really being happy with myself in this moment and with the world around me. And there are times that I feel depleted of energy and I feel exhausted and I feel mental fatigue. I don't feel happy, but overall in life I feel happy. But at that moment I don't, and that's okay. I allow myself, I give myself that permission to not be okay.
So, Jyotika, we are trying to understand this from a mom's perspective. Like, we are all about women and motherhood, and we see that our life. So, it would be different when it applies to an individual who is not responsible for a lot of things. And we, as mothers, have seen that
Right.
our lives completely transform when we get into those shoes of being a mother, of being a wife, of heading the household, and we feel ourselves overwhelmed, lost in that entire thing, and we realize at the end of the day that it is about our kid, it is about their studies, it is about our husband, it is about our home, it is about work, it is about everybody else, and at the last of that priority list is somewhere down the line that we have kept ourselves. And most often than not, we don't even look at that aspect. We struggle, we feel frustrated, we feel all of that. So why is it very, and as the topic suggests, that if we have to raise happy kids, we first need to address our own issues and be happy ourselves. Then how and how does moms achieve that? I know you've given
Sure.
us the list of this, but what is that one thing that
Yeah,
moms need to keep in mind when they are trying
right.
to
Correct. So first, they need to prioritize themselves. And I know it's hard. I have 3 kids and I have 2 dogs. I get it. It's hard when you're making that priority list for the day. You'll have so many to do things that you're like, whoa, there's no room in this list for me.
like me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
I can't see you though. Can you see me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. Sorry. I
We can,
can't see you though.
yeah, we can carry on.
Yeah, okay. So where was I? Yeah. So
So,
prioritize yourself, number one. Number two, you need to make sure that you check in with your needs. So again, we are not hardwired to check in with how I am feeling at this moment. And that's when we get frustrated. And that's when we blame others for our anger because I haven't taken care of my physical and emotional needs. For instance, I have this acronym called HALT. So when I am dealing with my kids and I can almost sometimes sense that physically I am coming to that point where I'm going to explode, I just pause and I ask myself, HALT, halt, where H stands for am I hungry? A for am I agitated because something happened at work? Am I feeling a bit lonely? And T is, yeah, maybe I'm tired. When you start to check in with yourself, and believe me, it is a practice. With practice, you can achieve this. When you check in with yourself on how you are feeling and you start to honor your needs, it's a game changer. Because see, everything springs from you. Happiness stems from you. You are responsible for raising yourself first and then your children. So prioritize yourself, make sure that you are clear about your needs, physical and emotional.
So, Jyotika, when we see that there are moms who are taking care of themselves, at times the society judges them. They are selfish. They are more worried about
Oh yeah.
themselves. They're not even caring about the kid. We come that very often. That
Yes.
till the time we are taking care of others' needs, it is okay. We are taking care of our duties, and it is no big deal. But the very
Yes.
moment we think about ourselves, it is like they're selfish and self-obsessed, and so on and so forth. Isn't that the case?
Narcissist. Yes. I get to. I've been judged, so it's okay. I get it completely. Yes.
So somewhere down the line, I feel that it has been more of the way our culture has been, the society in India has been. There are people, there the countries that we visit and we travel. You would see that everybody is on their own. It is about their own life, about their happiness. They give a lot of focus about how they feel at the end of the day, right? But that
Correct.
is somehow not there in India, in our society, and the way our families are, right? And
Absolutely
that
right.
shift really needs to come. And now we did a lot of sessions previously in our live sessions, and it was called Mom's Perspective. Out of the 4 episodes that we did on Mom's Perspective, every mom talked about the fact that we should look into our needs. We should go take a head shower, steam bath, a nail spa, or whatever it takes for us, so that we feel good about ourselves. Because when we feel good, that is when we are going to take care of our kids in a better fashion, right? So we do conclude that. But if we're not able to do that, you tell us, how does it impact our kids? So if you're
So
happy,
again,
how does it impact? And if we are not, how does that impact our kids
right. So again,
psychologically?
right. So psychologically, happy mom equals happy kids. That's a given because you are taking care of your needs. So then that equation will follow suit. But the problem really is, again, we are modeling our mothers mostly. And as mothers, I get it because it was generation it was all about seva, and I'm all for seva. But never did they include themselves in that seva. It was always about giving. So forget about their emotional health and forget about their mental health. So we are mirroring our mothers. So it's really our responsibility, and it's hard because डीएनए में है नहीं हमारे, बट हमें पता है कि हमें हैप्पी जनरेशन को रेज करना है, जो ऑलरेडी दिस जनरेशन जी को हैंडल करना ऑलरेडी इतना बड़ा चैलेंज है. सो इवन मतलब और भी हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आ जाती है एज मदर्स टू अगेन नॉट बी सो वायर्ड अबाउट लोग क्या सोचेंगे. ये हमें ये एक एटीट्यूड जो है, माइंडसेट है. And again, I believe in the ripple effect from me to you, you to so many, right? And this live might help so many mothers that we have to get rid of that mindset of what people are saying. So I can, because I practice a lot of self-care, I have to, with 3 kids, work, home, you know how it is, it's crazy. If I don't, I will not be true to who I am, and I won't be true to the work that I stand for. So I have to every single day remind myself that I have to prioritize and practice myself, self-love for myself. Only then will everything else around me will flow. And you have to literally celebrate yourself. We don't honor ourselves enough. We are either suffering from self-doubt, all the mothers who are attending this live, I can say it, or overthinking. And mostly, what are we overthinking? What others are thinking about us. So we have to get rid of this thought process that self-love is selfish, it's narcissistic, it's vain. We have to get, and I think it's universal. I know abroad they're very individualistic, but even there you kind of look down upon if you really, as a, let's say you're a young mom and you decide to take off and you want to go with your girls for a trip, you'll be looked down, you'll be frowned upon that, oh my God, she left her little tot or young baby. So people are judged everywhere. So you have to find your happiness. You have to find what makes you feel loved. You have to take care of yourself. Because again, like I said, everything will spring from that space. And you'll
How
notice
do
the
we
more kind you are to yourself, you will be a kinder parent. You'll be a kinder partner. You'll be a kinder daughter, a daughter-in-law. Everything will flow from there.
how do we teach this to our kids? As you said, our mothers never taught it to us. right? We have little kids, we are raising the next generation. And if we want to bring that shift, and as I said, it is probably not even there in our culture that we can be
No.
happy. It is all about duties, taking care of work, hard work, and all of those things are taught to us. But happiness is one thing that's never taught to us or even talked about here. Now, if we have to bring that shift, how do we teach that thing to our kids? And what do we tell
Beautiful
them?
question. Right. So again, you have to model it. If you are modeling it, and your children will definitely mirror it, because parenting ka ek hi to rule hai, you lead by example. So when your children actually see you display more respect and positivity to yourself, where they see you read books, go on a date. I went for a date with myself 2 days ago because I was just so emotionally depleted. So I told everybody at home, bye bye, I'm going for a date with myself. So little things where they see you take off on a holiday, or again, just say, I want quiet time, I want me time, because right now I am feeling depleted of energy. So please, mothers, understand, you can be a kind mother even if you say that right now I'm just feeling tired, I need some quiet moments. You can be a kind mom if you tell your children that right now I can't answer that for you, please seek help from A, B, C, D, whoever else is there at home to help. So we have to understand that we are forever giving and engaging and interacting so much with people around us that we get depleted of energy. So when your children see that, no, she's really pressed the pause right now and she's doing things for her happiness, they will start to model that. And again, self-love starts with self-awareness. If you are aware of your own strengths, your uniqueness, your qualities, and in your own little way, let's say you're cooking and you are curating food, you start doing all of that, all of those things for your own happiness. Your children are watching you. They will learn by watching you. You don't have to actually teach them all of this. They will learn just by observing you. So again, also point out your children's strengths. Whatever, I have 3 kids, so I forever keep appreciating their uniqueness, their unique strengths, and then I encourage them to follow whatever they're interested in, basis their strengths. So that makes them happy, and the whole atmosphere then at homes becomes happier, because everybody's
Jyotika,
strengths. Yeah.
yeah. So, Jyotika, I came across one another topic that you were recently doing about assertive parenting. And when I was jotting down the points about this session, I thought it is somewhere related. Because in that entire happy quotient and all of that, to keep the environment positive in the house and all of that, uh, especially this little kids, as in I can take my daughter for example, and I take her example in every live session. She's 3.5. So if I try to
Okay.
make her happy all the time, and this and keep in happy environment and tell her all about all these things, somewhere down the line, would it mean that I'm not being assertive? As in, is it related somewhere? As in, I found it that these two topics are somewhere related while raising our kids, right? Do you think it is related somewhere?
Yes, definitely. The goal really, again, self-love, if you're talking about self-love, it also means that you are asserting yourself. You understand your own needs. You're clear about your needs. You set those boundaries. You can't keep your children happy all the time, and they have to learn to deal with even the negative aspect of life. We cannot please them all the time. And what we've done, and I'm guilty of the same, that most of us have become peace at any price kind of parents. We just want to please everyone around us all the time. कि सब खुश रहे, शांति रहे, प्यार बना रहे, but it's not human. It's not possible. And that's why we've designed this workshop on assertion, where you need to understand what are your needs, your child's needs, set those boundaries, and be okay with everybody not being in a happy state or being in a positive state at some times during the day, because you cannot possibly, and that's why we feel so burdened, because we are forever just trying to make everybody around us feel good while we don't feel good about ourselves. So again, assertion is not taught. I had to learn this skill, because again, I was a parent who was permissive and pleasing my firstborn, and I realized this is not the effective way. I have to be clear on what my parenting goal is and what is going to be my role in that parenting process, and that demanded me to learn skills and sign up for workshops and read books. And now I'm sharing all that I've learned with everyone and still learning, because it's helping me. It's helping me be my better self, my calmer self, my happier self.
So, Jyotika, if you have to give tips to everyone, right, of setting up a day's routine or bring in certain practices in a particular day, what those tips will be for the moms, and tips that we can use with the kids as well.
Okay. So again, firstly, we're talking about self-love and self-care.
Yeah.
Mostly we all know that we have to exercise, we have to eat nutritious food. We all know that. This is no new knowledge for anybody, right? The important question is, what I have all these demands on my body, that I want my body to be youthful, I want energy, vitality, I want my mind to be, stimulated and have good concentration. All this we know, but we don't ask this important question. And I'm going to encourage everyone who's attending this live today to just pause and ask yourself, literally ask your body, that what does my body really need from me? My body needs rest, and rest is so undervalued. My body needs recovery. We don't give ourselves time to rest. We're just constantly on this doing mode. And again, we are hardwired for managing, for worrying, for doing. There's no time for being. And that's why we get depleted and we attract diseases, because there is no time to give our bodies to heal. And then time for reflection is important, to just sit with yourself, even if it means 15 minutes. And because I do this, my children automatically do this. 15 minutes when you wake up, just spend time with yourself. You want to call it prayer time, you want to call it meditative time, you want to journal your thoughts, just 15 minutes. You owe it to yourself. You want to visualize your day, you want to read a quote that will kind of propel you for the day. Whatever, you owe that 15 minutes to yourself. And you'll see that that 15 minutes will then become addictive. I want 15-minute breaks after every 2 to 3 hours at least. And I just go to my room and I just tell everybody I need some time to myself. And that charges me. So for all the mothers, please, let's get rid of that guilt that we wrestle with. We all wrestle with mommy guilt. Enough. It's time to let go of that and start giving ourselves 15 minutes every day. Number one. Number two, make sure that you do things that give you joy. It could be anything. Knitting, cooking, dancing, singing. Now online there's so much that we can do, but do that. I mean, I meet so many of my friends who are like, oh, I really want to do that course, or I really want to read that book. I'm like, just do it. I mean, don't complain about it, just do it, because without action there's no change. So if we want to sign up for being happier, we have to take action. And that means you have to learn to start to prioritize yourself and be clear on your needs, your physical needs and your emotional needs. So keep checking in with yourself during the day. Like I keep checking in with myself. This morning I wasn't feeling too bright and sunny because I had a late night. I checked in with myself and I quizzed myself. What am I feeling? I'm feeling a bit tired today. Why? I had a very late night. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to sleep for about 45 minutes in the afternoon. So I slept in the afternoon. I got my little power nap and I was fresh for our life.
And Jyotika, and since there are the audience would have kids in various ages,
Yes.
there are moms with young kids, there are to be moms, there are moms with toddlers and teens, and so on and so forth. Would you be able to divide it for us in terms of our parenting approach when we are dealing with little kids and teaching them the same thing? Because as I said, we ourselves are on a in a stage wherein we need to learn it ourselves. We need to be on that plan for a long time, but at the same time, parallelly work with our kids also, that they also learn these things, right?
Right.
So if I have to approach the same topic with my little daughter, who might not even understand certain things at this stage, or if somebody has the kids in their teens right now who are already going through that difficult phase there, then what should be a parent's approach to bring about these conversations with kids and bring in practices into their everyday lives?
Right. So for teenagers, again, they get it. If you tell them that right now I'm doing things for myself because I need it, they will understand it, because they also need a lot of me time. Teenage years, right now your daughter is little, but once they're teens, they're more in their own world because peer influence is so high. But whenever you do connect, whenever you do speak, make sure you talk to your teen about, oh, you know what, I signed up for this workshop on self-care. I'm reading this book on happiness. I really want to start modeling more self-care. So when you have these conversations with your teenager actually pauses and thinks that, okay, she's really investing time in her growth and development. And, it automatically sends that message to your teen that my mom is really invested in doing this for herself. And believe me, they will appreciate it. They will model it. They will mirror it because you are doing it, but you have to make sure that you keep talking to them and keep doing it. But the chotus, I know it's hard for them, but again, your daughter's 3.5. You said your daughter's 3.5.
Yes, yes.
So again, she may not get it like a teenager, but again, pointing her to things that she enjoys, celebrating those moments with her, pointing out her strengths, and then, talking about your strengths. Let's say, my daughters are now 10, but when they were little and I would make these videos on self-care and self-love, I would show them these videos that, see, mommy made this video and this is what I talked about. And even though they don't get it completely, but they see you invested in things that you love to do. And there are so many activities you can do just for your children to feel more loved with you. So let's say, again, self-love also means for you to understand what is your child's love language. What makes my child feel loved? So, we have this, again, we can do a live on love languages. We made a video on love languages. For my twin daughters, the older twin, her love language is hugs. So when she was 3.5, for her, love means hugs. So all we had to do is just switch on some music and we would all do group hugs. And that instantly made her feel loved. For my younger twin, it's words of affirmation. So if she were to, let's say, if she's very fond of art, so if she does a nice doodle, she'll come to me and she would want me to give her, like, lap her with praise, because I know that's what love means to her. So it's very important. For my teenager, it's quality time. So again, very important as mothers to identify what love means to our children, because when you kind of speak their language, they automatically start to love themselves and start feeling happier.
So, Jyotika, as it is lovely to hear you and the energy that you have. So, Jyotika is in a group, as in a WhatsApp group, and every time she messages there, it comes with a lot of hearts and smileys and all of that. And honestly, every time I read those messages now, I do think that where is that energy coming from? And it's very difficult for me to be like that person, but it is really infectious when you see all the positivity that comes with every message that you send. And I'm sure it is going to help people a lot. Yeah, really, it is going to help us there. And I also came across your concept of a happiness festival, which was like a great concept that was there. Can you tell us about what is that happiness festival?
Yes. So basically, Sonia, we at Happiness Club believe that the only way to build a better world is to build better parent-child bonds. This is what we believe in. This is our ethos. Now, parents and children have got disconnected. And this is world over. It's a universal phenomenon. We thought we will curate a happiness festival where parents and children, and not just chotus, even teenagers and young adults, come together, connect, communicate for better understanding, and create more happiness. And we did this in the most creative way. We had teenagers who, through monologues and through music, expressed their pain points to their parents. And it was one of the most powerful experience for me to just see how parents and children came together, and through art, through music, they just connected in ways that they were not able to do. So again, the goal really was to bring families together, so that, again, now I think Corona taught us well, family is everything. And the only way to be more resilient in life is to build positive relationships, and it all starts at home. And sadly, we don't have these opportunities where we can just all go to a place and just sing and dance and make merry and have a takeaway where you learn something about yourself and you learn a skill. So this was the goal, and this was in March 2018. And of course, we were hoping, March 2019, we were hoping that we do that, but last year was not possible. So yeah, maybe this year again, we will curate one.
So, Jyotika, in our conversation, see, as I said, I'm a probably a young mom, and I my approach towards certain topics might be different. But since you do a lot of counseling and you come across these questions and issues in families in your sessions very frequently, are there anything as in other things that you would want to tell our people about the subject about raising kids that we might not have touched today?
Yes, for instance, assertive parenting. This is my most favorite. Second is discipline with love. So we all have to discipline our child, right? That's our primary responsibilities as mothers. But how do I discipline with harmony? How do I discipline with love? And the third thing is communication. A lot of mothers, very honestly, and my heart reaches out to them. There's no judgment on anybody, right? I'm still work and learn. They literally come to me and they ask me, how can I connect with my child? मुझे एक script बना के दे दीजिए कि अब मेरा teenager है. I don't know how to connect with him. I don't know what conversations I should have with him when he comes. He's so moody and sometimes he's grumpy because that's what teenage behavior is all about. So again, mothers need help on how to connect, on what to say, when to say, what not to say. So we're also now thinking of writing a book, literally, because I've had so many conversations in the last 20 years with so many mothers to write a book on parenting done right. What that means is, of course, there is no manual or guide, and every parent is different. Everybody's family situation is different, but there are laws. There are rules that psychology literally gives us that if you follow them, you'll be on the right path where you'll be at peace and you'll be at peace with your child. So again, discipline with love and communication is something that I'm very, very passionate about. And a lot of mothers need help there.
Yeah. And this brings me to another question. Where does the disconnect come in? So when the kid is little, they need their mom all the time, right? And mom is one thing that they need all the time. So what is it that we do wrong while raising them up? That by the time they're into their teens, that there's disconnect that happen, wherein they feel that they cannot talk to you. What is it that we do not practice as a parent in terms of our interaction with our kids, that disconnect comes by the time they're into their teens? So what is it that parents should ideally be very careful about while they're raising their little ones?
Right. So, when the children are little, we are so hardwired to take care of their physical needs and their emotional needs. We are, forever telling them what to do, what not to do. So we're kind of, ordering them around also sometimes. But the key here, the magic here really is for you to share as a parent about yourself. So if you keep the communication channel open about your mistakes, about your childhood mischiefs, about your successes, about your failures, about your learnings, even when they are little, believe me, I mean, you might seem that your 3.5-year-old will not understand, but maybe through art, through any form, if you express to them about your life, that is the best roadmap you can give your children. And believe me, you will be the go-to person for your child when your child is a teenager, because you have kept that communication channel open. And it's not just you telling a child what to do and what not to do and correcting them. And that's what we do. And I'm guilty of the same. But when they reach teenage, you have to make sure that you have that rapport. You have invested in the relationship where the child, it is an honor if your teenager thinks that you are his or her go-to person. I counsel a lot of young adults and teenagers, and my heart bleeds. And no judgment on the parents. They were not aware. I always tell my kids, the kids who we counsel, that it's not lack of love. It is lack of awareness. Your parents were not aware. They loved you till death, but they're just not aware. They were not cognizant that this was the fundamental need that we need to communicate with you, understand your language. So please share, please talk, make sure the communication channels are open, understand their love language, tell them your love language. It's very interesting you asked me this question. So my teenager uh, would forget sometimes that, he has to show love to me the way I like to receive love. So now it's so cute. I like remind him my love language is words of affirmation and acts of kindness. So if I had a long day, he'll look at me and he'll be like, are you okay? Can I do something for you? You don't seem too bright today. Can I make you something to brighten up your day? Because I have communicated this to him, that this is what love means to me. So he also needs to speak my love language, not just me forever giving him love and then emptying my bowl and feeling depleted. So please have these conversations about love, about hugs, about strengths, about, praising your children and talking about your failures. It's so important to talk about your journey. How else will they learn?
So, Jyotika, on that note, I am sorry I jumped through the topic from here to there and I just mixed a lot of questions in between. But the idea was that everything is related in a way. It is self love, right?
Yes.
How we apply it into our lives is one thing, how we apply it into our kids' life is another thing, and how we don't forget our role as parents at the end of the day while raising them is another. So, I wanted to touch base on all those things. So it was a lovely, lovely session. Your energy is absolutely fantastic,
Thank
and
you.
it was great. And I see comments coming in here that people did like the session a lot, and I'm sure anyone and everyone who sees it later also would love it
Are there
too.
any questions,
So
Sonia, that I can answer? I'll be happy to answer if there are any questions. Quick questions
what I
है?
see is that it is a great session. It was very informative, wonderful, and the fact that they love your energy.
Thank you. It's coming straight from the heart, and I'm working learn. So every life that I do, I learn so much. Sonia, thank you so much for this opportunity. I love your energy. Maybe you don't see it in you, but literally, self-love for you starts with you again giving yourself a pat on the back. You're doing great work and keep it up.
Thank you so much. So everybody who is watching this session, do follow Jyotika at Happiness is Love on Facebook and on Instagram. She's right there. Every time you do not have that energy and you want to feel motivated, I'm sure just go through her handle with her photographs and her messages and the affirmations that constantly keeps coming. You will be charged up, and definitely you can contact her anytime for more information there or such sessions. Thank you so much, Jyotika. And on that note, we will say bye bye to everyone. And we'll come again next week with another live session, another guest who will bring in another perspective to another topic. We're looking at fitness that we will cover next week. And thank you so much, Jyotika, one more time. It was lovely, lovely interacting with you.
Same here, Sonia. Keep smiling, keep shining, and keep inspiring. Thank you. Have a good weekend,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. You too. Bye bye.
Thank, thank you.